Hi, I'm Alan Steinheimer. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. I'm filling in for Luke Searveld today. Today we're going to talk about LEDs. They came on the scene maybe 10, 12 years ago with the first very small ones, gradually bumped up in size to 1x1 panels, a couple generations where color kept improving, and then finally arrive at today where we have 1x1 Astras made by Light Panel. Great price point, $1,400, bicolor, and very bright. There's some other competitors out there as well, Light Gear with Light Ribbon, very much designed for sort of small spaces, and I've made up this kind of thing for under the bookshelf in cubicles when I want to have a bicolor dimmable light. One of the interesting features about LEDs is that from the very beginning they've made them dimmable and then more recently bicolor. These were features that we didn't really have with tungsten or HMI lights for the longest time. You could dim tungsten lights, but of course the color changes. So you have sort of a limited span, and HMI's dimming essentially non-functional really. So when LEDs came out, the idea that you could dim a daylight source was actually a major step forward. The other thing they're really great at excelling in is any use with batteries because they're basically 12-volt systems. So pretty darn bright hooked up to any kind of 12-volt or some of the newer ones 24-volt batteries. So in spring of 2015, I saw that Arri was going to come out with a new LED light. They're called Skypanels. This is a S60, and you can see in the background an S30 that's illuminating the stands. These lights are finally bright enough they can be used as a key light. Sometimes I'm using them through 6x6 or 8x8 diffusion. I've used them as a book light back through 8x diffusion. They're virtually as bright as a Arri M8. So very useful, plus the bicolor and the dimming, once you get used to that, it's just hard to go backwards. We're coming out now with a couple of portable solutions. This is a DMX at 512 dimmer. I've got the Arri hooked up to some Centenas here, and you can see at a fingertip I can walk around the set with no wires and basically control my light. I can control the color. It's a pretty great system. So this DMX at 512 is a great dimmer. It's portable, battery powered, but you're limited to 12 channels. There's other systems that are coming online, Luminaire in particular. They have the latest software 3, and combining that with some new products coming out from Centena, and you'll be able to control a lot of lights on the set wirelessly. There's some other accessories that come with the Sky Panel that I've been using. A little bit of the honeycomb. There's an intensifier that basically adds about 50% of light. Of course, it makes it a little bit narrower, and it's just actually little micro lenses. There's also a snap grid. This I have used quite a bit. Literally snaps into place, it goes in front. And then of course Shamira came out with a product that fits on the light itself, and there's of course a rectangular ring. And lastly, and this is the rotating back plate, replaces the bail for those difficult to get into situations. One of the things that I really like about the Arri is it not only functions as a key light on, say, a talking head or something like that, you know, maybe through a 6x or an 8x, possibly as a book light, bouncing into, say, 2 floppy ultra bounces and coming back through a 6x or an 8x. It also works well when you have multiple heads. I did a gig recently at a stage. We built a 12x12 and hung 4 of these over a full grid, lifted it up in the air, had the remote control unit hooked up to one of them, cabled DMX to the other 3 heads, and basically I had a color changeable, dimmable, soft overhead light that I could just literally walk around with and control. It was pretty awesome. There's nothing as sexy as a gaffer walking around with remote control over his own lights. Another use I found for these is Multicam. Let's say you have a talking headset with 4 or 5 people. You want each one to have their own light. With the snap grids in place in front of these, you can basically have a soft but controlled light that's plenty bright. We've shot these a couple times where we have windows in the background or a monitor on set that's daylight balanced, important enough that they want it to read well. And these lights are just about perfect for that. There are some downsides: expense, weight. I'm willing to live with both of those in exchange for all the possibilities that it offers. So the only downside that really bugs me about this light is that I'll be updating this light every 6 months with a thumb drive for the latest firmware. So you basically have a light that is also a computer on a stand. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.